Government is not reason. Government is not eloquence. Government is force. And like fire, it's a dangerous servant and a fearful master. Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Hapney and this is The Real Story. I've got some interesting stuff for you this week. Got a little bit of news as usual. I always try to give you some news. A little bit of 9/11 Zen. What a good thing. I even got a good quote on the back of this shirt. This is my Don't Tread on Me shirt, huh? You ought to read the Jefferson quote on the back. We'll save that maybe for later. But once again, a little bit of ClimateGate, news, a little bit of 9/11 Zen, but we'll start off with the regular news, this week's news. And just for grins, someone asked me one time when I was in line, they said, "Are you on TV?" And I said, "Yeah, if you see Sharon TV or you go out on the web." And they said, "Well, where do you get some of your info?" And I said, "Well, I do a fair amount of reading, okay, and what I would recommend for you viewers and stuff. A couple shows that I know. I caught part of the first ones, and that is Jesse Ventura's Conspiracy Theory show. Rather interesting, okay? At least he asks questions and not afraid to. The other one is Alex Jones. If you ever get an opportunity, type Alex Jones in and find out InfoWars, I think, because it's a war for your mind. All right. So anyway, this week's news, fun news and stuff for you. Let's see, U.S. polls show weak support for the health care bill. Yeah, let's see. They can't, they want to run the economy, they want to run healthcare. Gosh, I guess the government does it all nowadays, huh? But yeah, evidently, but supporters are pushing ahead anyway. What else is new? And that's from the Washington Times. Let's see, U.S. Congress, you'll love this one. What are our congressmen doing? Besides going over those people broke into the party thing, and you need a Patriot Act and you need to take your shoes off? Right. So anyway, Congress considers bill to regulate college football playoffs. That's correct. This is coming out of Associated Press, by the way, and it is comforting to know that the government is looking after such vitally important things, okay, issues. Once collectivism is accepted as a political model, it always grows until it controls almost every inconsequential aspect of human activity. Boy, yeah, I was amazed when they were going into the baseball, steroid thing. Now they're going to, they got to control everything besides General Motors and your health care. Okay, most Britons reject the swine flu. That's a little interesting thing. How about this? Google will now track all users, even those logged out of its system, to provide better service. But of course, that was from Tech Radar, okay? You can see it, Hey, don't believe me. Go look at them. Okay. How about 56 newspapers worldwide will run the same front page editorial promoting the climate change myth and supporting the globalist agenda at Copenhagen Climate Change Conference this week? Yes, do you call that media manipulation when 56 of the world's largest newspapers all have the same headlines and cover, Boy. Because it gets better. We're going to get into some of this climate, gate stuff later on. Here's a picture for you. Whistleblower website reveals Yahoo price list for selling its users' email messages and contact lists to government agencies. That's right. They not only found and posted, and this made Yahoo upset, that Yahoo says, yeah, we'll give the government your emails and also all your friends lists, and here's the prices for it. So we'll spy on the people for you, government, for a price. Rather interesting, huh? That was from Wired magazine. Okay, here's a video piece I wanted to show you because usually when tyranny comes to your door, it does so with a badge and a uniform. So I want you to, here's a question. Why is Switzerland the country with the lowest crime rate in the world? Check this out.
This is a SIG 550. It's designed to destroy anything standing within its 400-meter trajectory. And there are over 500,000 of them kept in Swiss homes. Guns and shooting are a strong Swiss tradition. Basic military training is mandatory for young men, and afterwards they're required to keep their weapon at home. Mark Heim is the Ticino representative for the lobby group Protel.
Basically, this was my father's military rifle, and of course he got to keep it when he was finished. I have my grandfather's rifle in the office, hanging on the wall. This was mine when I did service, which is quite an old one. It was introduced in 1957. was used until 1990. And this is my son's. That's the current model. That's what's being used today. That's what we'll be using to shoot the Feldschießen today.
The Feldschießen, or Tiro Federale in Campania as it's known in these parts, is an annual Swiss event, and it's also the largest shooting festival in the world. Roughly 200,000 people come out to target practice all across the country. Ammunition is provided by the government. Heim goes regularly to this range, and it's often a family affair.
It was organized by the government to have a very high state of readiness for the Swiss military and population. The target has always been that within 24 to 48 hours, Switzerland could mobilize a pretty large army, I mean, even by European standards.
But it wasn't the militia that sparked Heim's interest in guns as a young man. It was an unassuming trip to a Holocaust museum.
I was going through all the exhibits and the soap and the lampshades made of people's skin. And while I was looking, I heard a funny noise, and there was an old woman maybe 2 meters from me, and she was trying not to cry. She was sort of sobbing very quietly. She was holding it back. If she had been a few meters further away, I wouldn't have heard her. And she obviously had gone through that. That's when the whole impact of it hit me. And I promised myself I would never be in her situation. I would want to be free, never in a situation where somebody could, you know, march us off to ovens or prisons or just take away our freedom. The key to freedom is the ability to be able to defend yourself. And if you don't have the tools to do that, then you are at the mercy of whoever wants to put you away. And the tools for that are guns.
So yeah, here's a guy, and you got to learn a little bit about the Swiss. And yes, in every Swiss home, what do we have? We have military-grade rifles. When I say military-grade, we have functioning firearms that they can defend themselves with. Not only does it provide them homeland security, because they can muster an army faster than anybody else. For you Minutemen thinkers out there who remember what it was to have true militias and to have militias and stuff, yeah, so you know the Swiss. And the one thing that got me was when the guy said, gee, I'm at the Holocaust Memorial, and the person beside me is, you know, that's when he said, I'll never let it happen. You should say the same thing. Because once again, tyranny comes usually in a uniform with a badge. It's just the way history is. All right, here's a picture for you. Goldman Sachs executives, okay, they believe they need guns. Why? Now that they've given themselves $20 billion in bonuses. Yeah, I remember the bailout. Remember, you let them change, when I say you, through our Congress and Senate and good old man Obama. They're now a bank holding company, but now they think they need guns to protect themselves from the mad citizens. Because you citizens out there might be mad that they stole from your grandchildren, yeah, and your great-grandchildren, and enslaved them economically. This one, here's a little bit of truth for you. This is the real story, follow the money thing. Well, anyway, in North Korea, the government issues new currency. When have you seen this before? Did you see this, you know, around the globe every time that they, what, deflate a currency till it has no more value, then they go, hey, we're going to give you new money. And this new money's good. We even made legal tender laws, you know, to force you to use it. But of course, you know, they're doing it at a rate of, you know, 100 to 1. What did that do to savers? Because the reason I asked that is they're only allowed to have the equivalent of, you know, $740. That's all the new money they can get, the maximum amount. What if you saved more than that? What if you saved it for your children's education? Maybe for that operation for your mother? Well, if you live in North Korea, this was posted by the BBC, by the way, and you can see the picture. But think about it. Is that how they handle it when currencies get devalued to nothing? What's happening to the dollar? Who created the currency crisis with the dollar? What do you know about banksters? Do you ever hear the term the money trust? What have you read? I recommend The Creature from Jekyll Island. There's a book thrown out at you. All right, we're going to get into some 9/11 Zen here. Here's a minute of Jesse Ventura, because he'll ask questions, huh?
Jesse Ventura's new show, the title of which is Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura, debuts Wednesday night on True TV. Here's a sample.
This is the infamous Hangar 17.